Hey, I'm Frank Carney, and I just want to say thank you for reaching out to us. You've had a serious work injury. It's a stressful, difficult process. You're probably anxious, uncertain, don't know what to expect. But you made the right choice in giving us a call or letting us know, and and hopefully we can help you. I'm going to explain a lot of stuff right today in 15, 20 minutes in this little video that it's going to help you get on the right track. So again, thanks for reaching out to us. You made the right decision. So here we go. Um, Actually, before we begin, let me tell you a story. About 10 years ago now, I had a young man named Mike. That's what we'll call him. It's not his real name. He and his really sweet wife were in my office. They were about 28, 29 years old. He was a member of a union, working in a trade. He'd been making quite a bit of money the last 6 or 8 months because of all the overtime and the construction boom. But he had a really serious injury. And he came to us maybe 2, 3 months later, because here's what was happening. He filled out some forms that the insurance adjuster had sent to him, thought he was doing the right thing. He'd gone to the doctor that the insurance company adjuster had said you have to go to. A nurse was there for all of his appointments, but he wasn't getting better. Things just didn't seem right. So he and his wife came in. And I went through everything with them, everything for them. They brought all their paperwork. Really, really nice couple, 2 young kids. And I mean, my heart just sank when I had to explain to them how the insurance company was legally paying them $316 less than he should have been getting every single week. That's $17,000 a year. And the reason for that was because he had listened to the insurance adjuster and he had filed his workers' comp claim in Maryland. The benefit rate, the maximum compensation rate for benefits, it's much different in DC. It's much higher. In fact, now it's almost $500 difference. It's like $22,000 a year difference. So that poor young couple, they sat there with me, and I mean, you could just see them. They just, they were just anxious and mad and embarrassed, and it just felt guilty and just felt terrible. So I went home that night and I talked to my wife, Kathy. I was telling her about it. And she was like, you got to make sure this never happens again. You got to do everything you can to get the word out there, to tell people that this is one of the things that insurance companies are going to do to them. So, I mean, with her advice and help and support, that night I started outlining my first book on workers' compensation. This is now the 3rd edition of Protect Your Rights, the Ultimate Guide to DC Workers' Comp. And it takes you through everything you need to know about where to file your case, when to file it, what kind of benefits you can get, differences between DC, Maryland, and Virginia, things to look out for. It's not written for lawyers. There's not a bunch of legalese or mumbo jumbo. It's written for you. It's written for people who get hurt at work. And we give it away for free. Hopefully you have a copy of it already. If you don't, just give us a call at 202-393-3320. We'll send it to you. We'll send it to anybody in the DMV area who needs it. Okay. And so, it was too late to help Mike, but hopefully since that time, that book has helped many, many other people. In fact, I know it has because I do hear that. I do hear that quite a bit. So let's get started. Now, first you may be thinking, do I even need a lawyer? Well, if you've got a small injury, if you've only need to see the doctor a couple of times, if you're, only going to miss a couple of days from work, no, you probably don't need a lawyer. In fact, we'll help you. You can get the book. We've got some other forms. We've got what you need to file to protect yourself in case your injury gets worse or what have you. But no, you probably don't need a lawyer, okay? But what if you have a serious injury? What if you need surgery? You're not going to be able to work for a long time. You may not ever go back to that kind of work because of the injuries. You've got permanent injuries, okay? Yes, that's when you need a lawyer to help with your case, okay? How do you find a lawyer? How do you choose the best lawyer for you and your family? All right. Well, we put together a couple of things, but one of them that's really helpful is this cheat sheet on finding the best workers' comp lawyer for you and your family. Okay. And it goes through with the experience that you're looking for, with the specifics, with things that the lawyer can show you to show that he or she knows exactly what they're talking about and how they can help you, how they can solve your problem, help you and your family. All right. Things like board certification. That's like 1% of lawyers, by the way. Okay. Because a hearing in DC is like a trial. It's just a condensed trial. It's exactly the same. So that cheat sheet, that evaluation sheet, it's available to anybody. Okay. So I'd encourage you to take it. If you're looking for a lawyer, just again, give us a call. We can fax it to you. We can email it to you, send it to you, however you want to get it. And that'll help you when you're sitting in the lawyer's office, kind of going through and saying, okay, is this the right, is this person right for me and my family? Because, you don't want to be like Mike and his young wife and, be losing out on that money every single week. That's a lot that could go to a mortgage, rent, car payments, college tuition, all the things that families need and need to afford. Okay, so I've already told you two controversial things, right? One, you may not even need a lawyer. Two, it doesn't even have to be us. All right, but we think that once you go through everything and all the information, we want you to make, like we said, the best choice for you and your family, and who's going to do the best for you. Okay, so a couple things. Where do I file my case? That's like the number one thing. All right, that was the problem with that gentleman 10 years ago and his wife. They filed in the wrong place. They had filed the case in Maryland because he lived there and his company was there, but all his work was in DC. So he should have filed the case in DC. Are there times when it doesn't matter if you file in DC, Maryland, or Virginia? Sure. But when it comes into play is when you're making a lot of money. If you're a high income earner, okay? If you're working in, healthcare, construction trades, working a lot of overtime, professional people, you name it. All right. That's when it really comes into play. That's when you really got to be careful. All right. Because there's a lot of differences between DC, Maryland, and Virginia. In DC, you can't, once you file in another state, you can't come back into DC. And that's the problem with it. Legally, they won't take jurisdiction of the case. So if you file in DC, and it later turns out you should have filed in Maryland, that's okay. Maryland will take jurisdiction of the case. You can transfer it to Maryland. Same with Virginia, all right? But you can't come into DC. Something to really, really think about, and something you want to get analyzed by somebody who really knows this stuff quickly, okay? So you can make sure that you're doing the right thing, you're filing in the right place, getting your case going, and you're not losing what is now nearly $500 a week in tax-free benefits. Okay, so that's number one. I'd say two is this one kind of makes me laugh because I get this a lot. Should I trust my workers' comp adjuster? No, you should not. All right, that adjuster, as nice as she may be, as helpful as she may be, works for the insurance company. Her job is to limit your benefits, the amount of benefits you receive, either now or over time, the amount of medical treatment you get, the cost of that medical treatment. And that's, you got to remember, as nice as some of these adjusters are, and some of them are very nice, we deal with them all the time, but they work for the insurance company, and that's their duty and that's their job. Remember, too, the insurance company, they've got a team behind them, okay? So that, they've got lawyers. They've got to have lawyers, in fact. They can't go into court without a lawyer. So they've got lawyers and adjusters and doctors and nurse case managers and investigators. They're all working together, all working against you if you've got a serious injury from the day you get hurt. Literally, you could be on your way to the hospital or admitted into the hospital, and they're trying to contact you. They're trying to get a nurse over there. They're trying to talk to your doctors. Say, wait a second, does he really need this surgery? Can we put it off a day? Does he really need that CT scan? Does he really need that MRI? I've seen it happen, believe me. So you got to really be careful, careful about that. And that's something that, you can't discount, okay? That the adjuster just does not have your best interests at heart. That's just the way the system works, okay? It favors insurance companies. It's a difficult system. If you haven't been through it, there's just no way to really experience it, or to know about it. Okay, you would have no way of really knowing the complexities of the system. The fact that there are 58 chapters of regulations regarding the workers' compensation law or act. Okay, so those are two real critical things. I'd say a couple things. What if your job gives you light duty? Okay, hey, that's fine. If that's within your doctor's restrictions, then light duty is fine. Now, your doctor may say, I don't want you to lift over 10 pounds. I don't want you to climb ladders. I don't want you to bend or stoop or work overhead. And I don't want you to be on your feet for more than 20 minutes at a time. If they've got a job for you within those restrictions, that's fine. You can do that job. They'll pay your salary for that job. Now, what if that job pays less than your regular job? Maybe you were making a lot of overtime in the 6 months before you got hurt. Well, then they've got to pay you workers' comp benefits based on the difference, okay? So you got to make sure it's within your restrictions, that you're not doing anything your doctor says you shouldn't do, and that they're paying you the right amount. Because a lot of times people come to us and they ain't doing either one of those things, okay? So check that out right away. Now, there's often, no light duty in the trade. So plumbers, electricians, construction workers of all types, they usually don't have light duty. If your job doesn't have light duty, that's fine. They got to continue to pay your benefits, even though your doctor says that you can, you can work with restrictions. Okay, if they can't accommodate that, they've got to pay the benefits. So that's another thing to know. Another thing, could be a difference between DC and Maryland or DC and Virginia as well. So another thing to kind of watch out for. Now, does your workers' comp case survive if you lose your job? Okay, two things with this. The short answer is yes, it does. All right. So if you change jobs, if you're fired, if you're let go, if the job finishes and they go somewhere else to work, yes, your work injury, your workers' compensation case, that continues even though you don't have a job with the same company. So don't worry about that, all right? Can they fire you for filing a workers' comp claim? No, absolutely no. That's against the law, all right? Can they replace you if you can't work? Well, yeah. If you're on a construction site and, they need guys there, they need steam fitters there, and you're hurt, you can't do any of the work, sure, the company can bring in another steam fitter. At the end of the job, maybe they don't need steam fitters anymore. Maybe they don't need you anymore. They've replaced that job. That's fine, but they still got to pay your benefits, okay? So it's not just over and done with. They can't just wash their hands of you. It doesn't work like that at all, okay? How does medical treatment work? Well, in DC, you get to choose your own physician. And that's a big difference. In Virginia, for example, they give you a list of 3, a panel that you've got to choose. Doesn't work that way here in DC. So don't let the insurance company say, well, you need to go to one of our approved physicians, or, well, we've got a list of doctors who take workers' compensation insurance, or, we recommend this doctor or that doctor. Our nurse likes this doctor, that doctor. No, you choose your own doctor, okay? And you've got the right to do that, and that'll carry through for specialists and for other medical treatment that you need. There's no co-pays. They can't balance bill you, meaning the doctor bills you for the rest of whatever workers' comp insurance doesn't pay. That's it. By law, they accept the workers' comp benefit. They can't charge you as the patient, as the injured worker, for anything more related to your treatment. Okay, so don't. Sometimes we see doctors do this. Don't let the doctor take advantage of you either. Okay. Um, when and how can the insurance company stop your benefits? And maybe you called us originally or contacted us because that happened. Okay. In DC, they can stop your benefits for almost any reason. They're supposed to file what's called a notice of controversion. And if they do, if you get one, call us, email us, contact us, so we can kind of go through that with you and let you know why that happened or what's going on with that to help. But yeah, they can stop your benefits. They can send you to an insurance doctor. Okay, they sometimes call those an IME, independent medical exam. It's not independent. It's an insurance company doctor. It's a doctor who makes a fortune. Just seeing people just like you get hurt, and they say, you're fine. You can go back to work. Don't worry about it. You don't need surgery. You don't need therapy. You don't need anything. Okay. And the reason for that is that doctor makes, $850 for that 3-minute visit that you see him for and talk to him, and he doesn't even let you explain what happened, right? Versus if he saw you as a regular patient, he'd make, $86 and would have to listen to you and actually give you medical treatment and advice and be responsible for your care and your condition. So that's how the economics of that work. If you've gotten a notice for one of these IME appointments, reach out to us. Give us a call. Let us know. And, we can give you some information that'll probably be helpful for you. We can also tell you who the doctors are, probably, because there are, 2 or 3 pretty notorious doctors who do these all the time. And if you get one of those, we can give you a few tips on that as well. Okay. That, of course, is all confidential. That's something we give our clients. So you'd have to reach out and directly to us so we could kind of give you that specific information on those doctors. All right. But they're out there, let me tell you. So those are kind of the basics, the things that come up over and over at the beginning of a case. Okay. And kind of why people contact us. So I wanted to sort of go through those with you. And if those apply to you, like I said, please reach out to us and see if we can help with any of those. All right. Now, what do you do now? Well, sure. Give us a call. Our number is 202-393-3320. Because at this point, I suspect you've been through our website. You've seen we have over 300 questions and answers. We've got, over 200 articles. We've got over 50 videos, all of them designed to give you the information that you need. We're not on TV. We're not in yellow pages. We don't do pay-per-click ads. We don't do any of that annoying stuff, okay? So it's really a referral-based practice. So you probably heard about us from, one of your neighbors, coworkers, friends, relatives, what have you, or found our information on the website, okay? And that's all, things that we have written and published ourselves, again, to help people. And let me ask you one favor, if you would, please. Just like 10 years ago when I went home and my wife, Kathy, said, you got to spread the word. You got to tell people about this. Please do that. If you know somebody who's been hurt, or maybe they work in a difficult or dangerous job, construction, healthcare, anything like that, let them know. Let them know about us. Let them know that there is good, free information out there that can help them and their family make the best decision if something like this happens to them or has happened to them. Because honestly, I don't want to have any more conversations like I did 10 years ago. I've had to have them over the years, try as I might to prevent that. But it's just a bad, sickening feeling. You don't want that. The system is stressful enough. there's enough anxiety and difficulty and built into it. And we tell our clients all the time, we take all that away so you can focus on getting better, getting the rehab that you need and the treatment that you need. But we take away that worry, that anxiety, that uncertainty, so you can feel better about that. I hope that's all been helpful. I hope I've answered some of the questions that you have. If not, like I said, please just give us a call, 202-393-3320. We don't have a call center, so we're not on TV. We do make time every week to actually talk to people and meet with people and try to help them. I want to thank you again for reaching out to us. You made a great decision. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.